A pleasant good morning to each and every one in tune to 98.9. I am Carlton DuPont. I'm so delighted to be here on this Friday, July 15, 2022. Let us go to the board, and when we return, we'll have prayer. I want to say a pleasant good morning to Lovis down in St. Croix, and to someone, I believe that person know me, in Canada, St. Clair, and to your wife, good morning. While we're in Canada, let's say a pleasant good morning to my friend Altia and Stud and all the other guys up there in Canada who are listening to this broadcast. Let us give thanks and praise to God. And I'm playing this first song for Albert Lewis, with Albert Lewis, for Brother Lewis in St. Croix. He'll love it. He loves the music of Albert Lewis.
The Lord has bestowed His blessings upon me. The spirit of poverty has been broken over my life. He has poured me out a blessing. Now I don't have room enough to receive it. Oh no, no. All my needs the Lord has provided. He's my shepherd, I shall not want. The Lord is blessing me right now. He's blessing me right now. The Lord is blessing me right now. I can feel it coming down. The Lord is blessing me right now. He's blessing me right now. The Lord is blessing me right now. I can feel it coming down. Oh yeah. Whoa, yeah. The blessings of the Lord has made me rich, and it brings no sorrow with it. Oh no, no. Whom God blesses, no man can curse, and what He has done could never be reversed. Oh no, no. I'm sure you can see how the good Lord is blessing me. He has brought me out from the hand of the enemy. The Lord is blessing me right now. He's blessing me right now. The Lord is blessing me right now. I can feel it coming down. The Lord is blessing me right now. He's blessing me right now. The Lord is blessing me right now. I can feel it coming down. Jehovah Jireh is blessing me right now. Jehovah Jireh.
For evil to continue or to triumph, it takes good men and women to do nothing. Stand up for your country.
Jehovah Jireh.
4:33.
He's blessing me right.
Carlton DuPont here until 6:30 when I hand you over to morning devotion. Morning to the friends and families over there in Nevis. Got to say a special good morning to Flamingo, to El Comido Willett and his family, Sheila and Lorraine, Kahneman, Evan and her husband, all those who driving now in Nevis in the passenger buses going to their respective work. A pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. Let us pray. Jehovah God, I thank you this morning for spared life and journeyed mercies. I feel good about my body, my mind, and at least, from my knowledge, thank you for giving me a measure of health and various abilities that you have granted unto me. I can work for myself. I can cook, I could wash, I could swim, I could eat, I could drink. Hopefully when this program is over, I would like to do about 10 to 20 laps at Kim Collins. Exercise is important. Lord, I ask you to continue to give me the love and peace in my heart and help me not to keep people inside me, but to be plain, to be straight, to speak only when I'm supposed to, and understand that this life that we're living in, this campaign season that we are going through, many disappointments will come. People will try to get me or lure me into certain conversation, into conflict. Thank you for the awareness this morning, for showing me that I have to restrain myself in times of trouble. Lord, this morning I pray for the teachers in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, the doctors, the nurses, the cleaners, the cook at our various institutions of health, that we must remember them, and we must analyze and understand how important the teachers are, the police officers, the ambulance drivers, those who clean the hospital, keep the surrounding clean, those who are cooking the meals. We must remember them, and we must try our best to treat them good, and remember not to overwork them without pay. If you overwork a man, you must pay him. Lord, this morning I pray a special prayer for my friend in St. Croix, Lewis, that you will strengthen him and you will encourage him to fight on in this life and keep looking to you and towards you for his help, his strength. I pray for his daughter as well, that you will help her to keep going with him and keep that relationship going with him, and so life can be sweet at the end of his days still. I put this broadcast in your hand, and I ask you please to purify my heart, purify my thoughts, give me the things to say, the right song to play. I have so many different songs. And all this I ask in Jesus' precious name. Amen and amen.
Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for DuPont's jewelry. Do you know where it is?
Go straight ahead and you will see the sign Pelican Mall. Once you get there, go inside and ask for Carlton Talk Puppy DuPont.
Is that the name of the store?
It's DuPont's jewelry. They're small enough to know you and large enough to serve you. If you have a newborn baby and want to know if he or she is sick, DuPont is the man to find you that special silver bracelet.
What about wedding bands? I'm getting married next month, you know.
Congratulations! DuPont's jewelry now has special engagement rings with affordable prices. They also have the latest shades and glasses frames.
Great! I think I'm gonna buy some shades for my fiancé and nephew in Nevis.
I'm glad you mentioned Nevis, because all Nevisians who come to shop at the store, DuPont will reimburse their ferry fee.
Wow! That's amazing! Thanks for the info. I must hurry to DuPont's jewelry right away.
Happy shopping at DuPont's jewelry store. Have a nice day.
Is your pocket low and don't know where to get some quick cash? Do you have gold in your possession? Are they worn, broken, or you're just downright tired of them? Well, I've got the best solution for you. Take all your unwanted jewelry and run on down to DuPont's jewelry store, where he'll give you cash for your gold. No matter what condition it's in, DuPont's will take care of you. It's an opportunity you can't afford to pass on. I mean, me too, because right now I broke, and I got a broken hand chain and 2 non-matching earrings at home. So I go and get them and run on down to DuPont's and see if he could dab me hand with something of consequence. DuPont, no shut the door yet. I come in.
Call 869-661-0037.
I want to thank the people in St. Kitts and Nevis for doing business again with me yesterday in a big way. And I'm so happy. Folks, trust in God. Supplicate God. Pray to God constantly. Remember to find time to pray when you get up in the morning. Folks, find some time to exercise. Exercise is important. Remember, when you get up every morning, I have already drank 2 bottles of water. Remember, when you get up in the morning like Rubilette, my friend in mansion, drinking her water at mornings when she wake up. A man told me a couple days ago in the store, thank you, Mr. DuPont. Since your show, I have had many bottles of water put at my bedside, room temperature, not from the refrigerator. Folks, remember to drink water in the morning, 3-4 glasses. It purifies your body. It make you pee, and look at the pee. You will see how it is looking when it's coming out. Look at it for yourself. If you're working hard, always sleep on a good bed. Drive a good car. Keep your house clean. Keep your surrounding clean. Try and keep your house looking good, especially the inside. Be careful the food you eat, because your health is your life. The excessive amount of salt and sugar, careful. When salt and sugar smash your life to pieces, it's hard to come back. I remember many months ago, Tango and I sitting down, and Tango said to me, DuPont, Licky. No, he called me Licky. Don't get sugar, you know. Folks, I'm warning you all. We don't know what our life will be tomorrow, but keep away from excessive sugar. Make sure you exercise. Make sure you drink your water. Make sure you keep right company. Be careful of what you sow, because remember, when you sow, you reap. It is found in Galatians 6:7. Whatever a man is sowing, this he will also reap. A person who chooses to smoke, drive recklessly, or squander his income must bear some responsibility for any suffering his decision may cause. And let's read this part for Timothy Harris. Timothy Harris' performance in this country is so poor. He fooled me, you know. I used to praise him up. Go back in YouTube and find the tapes where I used to say I will kill for him. When people play them, they think I'm ashamed. No, he fooled me. I thought he was somebody. Then I realized he's nobody. What you want me to do? You're going to blame me for feeling he was somebody, and now I realize he's nobody. Should I condemn myself? Absolutely not. But look what's happening to us in St. Kitts and Nevis. We are suffering because of the selfish choices of Timothy Harris and the Governor General. Timothy Harris is an imposter. This program is a political program. This program is designed, is paid for me to bring politicians up to date with what I know that they're doing. That is what this program is for. It's a program to bring the politician up to speed with what they promise. And politicians are no good. Let's play this song, and when we return, we will read something. Out of St. Paul's, Winston Francis.
I don't think I've got the right to tell any man how to live his life. But things are getting out of hand that I think every man should take a stand. Man to man is so unjust, you never know which one to trust. Even your brother would take your life because he covets you for your wife. In this time, you've got to take a stand. There are so many people out there, they don't understand. So people, I want you to listen to me. I
have to say good morning to Simo's sister, AG. Good morning to you. Folks, Timothy Harris fooled not only me, but thousands of people in this country, Christian people, decent people. We got to get rid of Timothy Harris. We must. Let him don't call the election now, and you see what we do with him in the street.
Today, we've got to see it in a new way. Let's try.
Let me say something to you all. Let Timothy Harris let the date pass for election, and you see what happen in the street.
Together.
Me want a 2 and 3,000 like when Labour had the march, you know. A 10,000 me want, you know. And more. According to Big Lies, 40,000.
Cause in this time, you've got to take a stand. There are so many people out there that they don't understand. Man to man is so unjust, you never know which one to trust. Even your brother would take your life because he covets you for your wife. I don't think I've got the right to tell any man how to live his life. But things are getting out of hand that I think every man should take a stand. We've got to think about a new day. We've got to see it in a new way. Let's try to make things better. So let's all get it together. I don't think I've got the right to tell any man how to live his life.
Folks, I have some clips to play today. I want you all listen them carefully. Yes, I have some clips to play today. I've played them before, but I want you all listen them so you can get the understanding how dangerous Timothy Harris is. And I want to put in the first one right now. I am telling you all in this country, when all you get up at mornings, listen to this program, you know. You all go to bed a little hour and a half earlier. So I used to do a program on another station from 5 until 7. People say they can't listen me over here now because it's too early. Well, get up for 5 until 7. Until 6:30, an hour and a half. Put within me a new spirit, a steadfast one. Talk to Jehovah. Admit that you need to change and ask him to help you to do that. This is the mistake Timothy Harris made. Timothy Harris could have made many good changes in his life on the way after he fooled us, but he did not. Meditation is important, friends, when you wake up at mornings. David say, I have examined my ways in order to turn my feet back to your reminders. You see Dwyer Astafan campaigning hard to remove Pam? Let me tell you something in case you did not know. Timothy Harris had always been working to remove Pam. Let me tell you something this morning. When God ready to deal with Timothy, nobody will be able to help him. Timothy is a nasty-minded man. Timothy Harris is a dirty-minded man. Timothy Harris is a wicked and evil man. And you got to remember this. For evil to continue, it take good people not to do nothing. Good people like who? Like myself, like Big Lies, like EK. We have been toying the line. Dwyer Hastafan used to toy it good, but now he toying it in Labour favor alone. I don't know why. he has forgotten all the goodness of Sean Richards. Folks, you can't tell me that Dwyer don't know that Timothy Harris was so wicked and evil-minded in the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party that he didn't realize, when he realized Timothy Harris wouldn't change, how come he can't talk even one nice thing or 2-3 nice things about Sean in terms of loyalty? This the thing bothering me with Dwyer. Sean had been so loyal to Timothy Harris. Why Timothy Harris has turned his back so much on Sean Richards and end up calling him a fool? You can't do that. It's ridiculous. I have examined my ways, Psalms 119:59. Mark down the scriptures in the morning when I'm giving them to you. I have examined my ways in order to turn my feet back to your reminders. Analyze yourself, brothers and sisters, when you're doing wrong. Do I sense jealousy or pride lurking in my heart? Am I drawn to immoral entertainments? And we got to change our dominant mental attitude. The problem with Timothy Harris, he was asked by reporters, Glenn Barth, asked Timothy Harris, are you going to run seats? Is unity still intact? He said, yes, the last time I checked, unity is still intact. That wicked, dirty-minded Timothy Harris. Let me tell you something. I'm not studying money in this campaign. I wish I could have get time in the day, hide on the station to tackle Timothy Harris. He's not nice. And he has to go. The governor too. The governor has to go as well. The governor did a poor job in keeping Timothy Harris there. That's enough, Carlton. Watch your association, folks. The one walking with the wise will become wise. So says Proverbs 13:20 and 1 Corinthians 15:58. Assess your relationships, brothers and sisters. Do I spend unnecessary time with those of the world? Do you know what is the world? The world is the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the world is showing off with what you have. Look at how Timothy family joining him in evil against this country. Yes, Timothy family joining with him, perpetuating evil on this country. Do you know the amount of people in constituency number 7 fed up with the life that Timothy Harris is living? Let's go to New York and say good morning to Taylor and his sister Ruby, and let's play this song for the listening pleasure of Taylor in New York by Star Shield. And let me say good morning to Jeffrey Hanley, father in New York. Somebody told me he listened to the program too. Good morning, sir.
What do you think about the situation of justice in our lands? Well, just conviction should be awarded to every man, can't we understand? That punishment or death to a criminal can't be in vain. For if he is jailed for life or they hang him, he would never disturb next man again. Listen to my song. Know the position, why should you do wrong? There's no man who could ever be wrong and strong. So if a man commits murder, don't sit there and cry. You just hang him high and let my words condense true sense and go and tell my people that if they create more trouble, they would meet their fate. For all people say that when you're sorry for all hog, what would it do but turn around and go down your head? This advice I took from a story which I heard about a man named Bruno. In the whole of his life, he wounded and murdered more than 300 people. But the judge was so biased because it was his best friend that he sent him to jail to pen anarchy of the island so that he could not be condemned. What a big mistake. But Bruno escaped and swam back to shore. mission was to kill one more. So he caught the judge that sent him to jail and kill his tail. But why should I hang on a high, real high, in order to protect other people and prevent further trouble? But judge found out late, real late, that he was sorry for that old hog. So what he do? He turned around and rode down again.
A good morning to Star Shield. He's in Sandy Point and I know he's listening to this program. Morning, Star Shield. I'll try my best to look for you this afternoon. No, I think they say a march this afternoon, Star Shield, so we'll do it another day, maybe tomorrow.
Island. No police should just want him and set him free because of a high position. No, he should be treated the way they would treat any other man. For the law of constitution was made to govern each and every man that lives on this land. Even policeman. The police, they're here to see we do right. This is no time to sit down and no time to take it light. So if a man violates the law, send him by the friend to get his beard shaven. Tell them policemen, even if Daniel is the best friend, to let him remain in the lion's den, let him meet the fate. Don't wait, but when they're sorry for that old hog, what will he do? He'll turn around and go down again. Well, the hearts of man is so desperately wicked, and you know it's true.
Aye, aye, aye.
So you can't afford to let sheer sympathy and goodwill just overcome you. No, if a man violates the law, no matter who he may be, he could be pastor, turner, laborer, commissioner, or premier, could even be me. You understand clearly. Take down the man and clean off your head. Feed him the same way the jailmen are fed. Otherwise he'll have time to gather more tricks inside he head. Now you clearly know you must go and tell Judge Glasgow. When he catch them, don't let them go. Let them meet their fate. Don't wait. But when he's sorry for them old hogs, what would they do? They'll turn around and go down he gets.
Do you know, I had one song down for Star Shield this morning, but I have to make it two. I have to make it two, boy. Folks, let's read from the Bible. 1 Peter chapter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3 before we continue this program. And we're going to read something from Mark Brantley out of Nevis that I promised you yesterday I'll read over. And I have something on Lindsey Grant today. Folks, you know, make me feel good about challengers to half-country people. Even though some of them have a problem with Lindsey Grant, they will still vote for Lindsey Grant and Pam. Lindsey Grant will win number 4 seat. I'm going to walk through challengers. I'm going to walk through Old Road, right down to Hertfordshire, to New Guinea, and thank the people in advance because I feel it inside me that Lindsey Grant will win his seat. And you know something I like about Lindsey Grant? He improving all the time. Just listen to Lindsey Grant on that political platform. The best tourism minister we have ever had in this country. Don't let nobody fool you. Could you imagine if I had time? If I could have paid for programs in the day on ZIZ, on different station, to come and close down my store and tackle Timothy Harris. Let me ask you something before we read. Could you imagine if the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party were to win 6 seats, what happened to Nevis? This is my greatest concern. My greatest concern living in this country is that enough people in St. Kitts not talking about what are we going to do for Nevis. Nevis ain't begging nothing. When you see Dwyer ask Astafan, when are we going to get a good program with everybody getting involved in what we are going to do for Nevis people after the election? Do we intend to give them the fair share? Because Nevis people don't beg nothing. Folks, You know what strengthens me in this program? You know what make me feel good? You know what fortifies me in this program? The sacrifice that I'm getting up. Last night, I was driving going over to Constituency 7. The phone rang. I realized it was an overseas call. Guess what? A man in Canada calling me to tell me he was looking for Western Union. He didn't want to say anything to me. He found one and he sent some money for me, so he want me write down the number to get the money. It's not the money, you know. Is the key, is what people think about me fighting for my country. Is not just the money, you know. It's the thought. Why this man going to send the money? I said, sir, right now I'm driving. I could assure you I'll call you in 30 minutes when I park up. So when I leave Constituency 7, I went home and I went to my study room and I got my pen and paper, rang the number, his wife answered. He came on the phone and he told me some things, some very nice things. I feel so good. It has strengthened me, fortified me. I am telling you the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, any one of you in the outer world, I am not begging for money. Any one of you in the outer world and could send me at a 20 US, a 50 US dollars if you could afford it, send it Western Union for me, please. If you can, send it like the lady in the States who called me and she said, I wish you had a simple way to get money. I'll just be sending money to you. I want to thank that woman because I believe she's listening. Lady, thank you so much. Do you know the amount of people all over the world calling me now? But I can't say certain things because they told me they don't want nobody know. They want to send me money. And let me say this to the congregation. Any one of you listening to this broadcast, no matter how much money you hear that I'm spending in this campaign, trust DuPont on this one. I'll never use your money for anything else but to bring radio programming to you. Folks, listen to me. I still have some money to pay for these programs here that I'm doing this afternoon. As soon as I get a chance this afternoon, I'm coming over to WINN FM. Today is Friday to pay this week's bill. I wish I had daytime on WINN FM. I wish I had daytime on WINN FM. When I say that, I mean 10 o'clock and so in the day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I wish, don't study the money, so I could bring this message, a message of hope, a message of peace. I don't like how we treat Nevis. It's bothering me. And Dwyer Astafan, he don't talk enough about Nevis where I am concerned. And he's now a Labour again. Dwyer is now a big supporter of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party again. But ask them how many times they mention Nevis and what is going to be in it for Nevis and Nevisians. I love them to death. I love Nevisians. They are part of us and we must respect them and we must treat them right. Labour not going to win no 6 seats. Anyone or you want to bet me, I'll bet every cent on my account that Labour would not win 6 seats. Why you all want Labour win 6 seats? To trample on Nevis? And look, a man came to my store yesterday. I told him I'm going to make him feel too good today. A man told me yesterday, Mr. DuPont, I love your program. Please do me a favor. Stop saying Pam going to win 3 seats. He said, Pam gonna win at least 5 seats. You wouldn't like to know how he in Sunny Point laughing right now. I told him I done with the 3 seats. Pam will win 5 seats, at least 5 seats, and we got 3 over there in Nevis. Pam and CCM got the easiest part to win this election. The easiest part to win an election in St. Kitts Nevis is Pam and CCM. CCM got 3 already. Pam got 2 already. Well, just win the rest. Timothy over there, a scrabble who win his seat. Imagine a man we got a seat, he ain't even got call nobody in number 7 all these years. Now he a campaign on the floor. Now he a keep thing in number 7. You see, wickedness don't pay. Starshield just talk to you about justice and the OLAG. Taylor in New York tell me, DuPont, I didn't realize Starshield's song was so good until you emphasize on it. Let's read the Bible. I'm thinking about husbands and wife and other things this morning. So let's go to 1 Peter 3, reading from verse 7. You husbands, in the same way, continue dwelling with them according to knowledge. Assign them honor as to a weaker vessel, the feminine one, since they are also heirs with you of the undeserved favor of life, in order for your praise not to be hindered. In other words, a man must treat his wife very good, even when mistakes are made. If a wife goes to her husband and definitely say, honey, sweetheart, whatever, I know I did A, B, or C, but I want you please to forgive me. That husband have no right not to forgive. But forgiveness is a funny thing. Some people believe you could do wrong to people and just say, forgive me. But me don't tell you forgive me, where you go on with. No, that's not forgiveness. Forgiveness, when you ask forgiveness, it should be genuine. Let's move on. Verse 8. Finally, all of you have unity of mind, fellow feeling, brotherly affection, tender compassion, and humility. Do not pay back injury for injury or insult for insult. Instead, repay with a blessing, for you were called to this course, so that you might inherit a blessing. For whoever would love life and see good days must guard his tongue from bad, and his lips from speaking deception. Let him turn away from what is bad and do what is good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of Jehovah are on the righteous, and his ears listen to their supplication. But the face of Jehovah is against those doing bad things. Do you know the amount of punishment Timothy Harris getting right now from God? With the amount of evil, the perpetuation of evil that he has brought upon this country and his wickedness. Let me tell you something. Those of you who did not know, Timothy always had an intention to bring down Pam. Timothy always had an intention to replace Pam. Timothy is a no good. Timothy is a no good. Let's go to verse 13 of 1 Peter chapter 3. Indeed, who will harm you if you become zealous for what is good? But even if you should suffer for the sake of righteousness, you are happy. However, do not fear what they fear, nor be disturbed, but sanctify the Christ as Lord in your heart, always ready to make a defense before everyone who demands of you a reason for the hope you have, but doing so with a mild temper and deep respect. Before you read the other verse, let me tell you what God wants me to do with this election campaign. First of all, God don't want me to go back in the circus in this campaign. You'll never see me in the circus in the place I used to be. It doesn't make any sense. And God wants, when Timothy Harris and many people set out to abuse me with his choice friends, not from his mouth, and like a guy met me the other night and tell me he want to sabotage me, I simply asked him, what you mean? He started to use some other words. But I'm not afraid of them. But God don't want me to get in no problem with them. That's the point. Let's read the other verse, 16. Maintain a good conscience. This is what Timothy don't know anything about. Maintain a good conscience so that whatever way you are spoken against, those who speak against you may be put to shame because of your good conduct as followers of Christ. I want to thank God so much this morning for the Bible. We'll play another song, and when we come back, we'll read something from Mark Brantley about his stewardship. Folks, before I play the song, let me ask you something. Has any one of you gotten the chance to text Patches to ask him to show us a receipt how much money he's paying for ZIZ programs? When I cannot pay my money to be in ZIZ, could you imagine Timothy could use ZIZ radio and television anytime he wants without pay? An evil man like Timothy, but a man like me who work hard, gone in. Folks, When you hear me say I gone in me reserve money, don't think it's joke I'm making, but it ain't your fault. I take another $50,000 out of my reserve to campaign. And even if I had to take an next 50, I will do it. I cannot study money. I got to use the money to fight this monster, this evil force against the country. Let's listen to this.
Dr. Harris is a good leader. He's leading the country. And Dr. Harris, he's obligated to his commitment. They make a decision in Parliament. All of them agreed that Dr. Harris, the present Prime Minister, he will serve 2 terms. Nobody hear him come out and say he want 3. It's only speculation around people saying that he managed the country so good and he should take 3. But it was agreed, like I say, in Parliament. And when his 2 term is ended, he will gracefully dress over. And the next Prime Minister to be is Honorable Sean Kennedy Richard. And Dr. Harris will be working alongside Sean.
Oh, let me ask you something. You all think you could call Culture and ask him if this position still stand? And could you imagine a man like Culture got problems with me? Imagine Culture got problems with me. We gonna play something else from Timothy too, When I reached home yesterday, remember I said to you all, do not call me when the program finish. I don't take calls till 10. So no matter how many people call me between the time I leave here and 10 o'clock, I wouldn't answer because I go home to concentrate on life and think about a future for the children of this country. Folks, it's time for me to read something about Mark Brantley pertaining to his stewardship. And I told you all already, Mark Brantley's life has given me courage. I love Mark Brantley so much I don't even have words sometimes to express my love for Mark Brantley. And I want to say to the people of this country, please, if you could afford to give me $5 to help me support this program, give me. Because I want to make some call over to Vaughan Radio and I want to go over there to do some daytime program since I can't get it in St. Kitts. I want the whole world to know that Timothy Harris is a worthless, dirty man. He's a low-minded man. You all send some money to me to fight the politics because I got the right attitude to fight Timothy. I got the right attitude to tell you all about the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. I am not in a war with the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, but the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party does not speak enough about what we are going to do for Nevis. This is what bothering me with Labour. No, Carlton. Just for your information, I wanted to say something else, but the Holy Spirit tell me no. And I'm going to work accordingly. Let's read something. Let's read some of Mark Brantley's stewardship in Nevis that I promised you yesterday I'll read again. I'm not here. I'm not getting up out my bed early morning time to come down here to make joke, I could have been sleeping, And I went sleep very early last night so I could get up early to plan this program. NIA Charlestown Nevis, June 13, 2022. Premier of Nevis, Honorable Mark Brantley, Minister of Finance in the Nevis Island Administration, NIA, has set the record straight by giving an account of how the NIA has put the $400 million in revenue from St. Kitts and Nevis Citizen by Investment CBI program to use on the island of Nevis, highlighting that 93% of CBI monies has been kept in St. Kitts while only 7% has been allocated to Nevis. Premier Brantley outlined dozens of projects and expenditure undertaken on Nevis over the past 7 years. My government is transparent and open, so let us start from the fact that the under 400 million, notice what Mark Brantley is saying, that the under 400 million was received not at one time, but over the course of 7 years. That means that Nevis received roughly $57 million per year. Salaries and pension for public servants in Nevis average 8.5 million per month. I bet you wouldn't hear Dwyer talking those things. Or 102 million per year. During COVID, we applied all of CBI receipts to salaries and pension, but still had to find another 45 million to do so. Folks, I hope you are listening, you know. Let's read this again. Salaries and pension for public servant in Nevis average 8.5 million per month, or 102 million per year. During COVID, we applied all of CBI receipts to salaries and pension, but still had to find another 45 million to do so. Put differently, the paltry 7% could not even cover our civil servants and pensioners. I really hope, let me pause here, I really hope you all not only listening but paying attention, because paying attention is different to just listening. It continues. In 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 21, double salaries were paid to public servants and workers at statutory corporations. Those amount totaling roughly 61.2 million were paid from the same 400 million. The Premier continues. We expanded our road network with major projects at Hanley's Road, Braziers, Brownhill, Butlers, Shaw's Road, Farms, Island Main Road, to name a few. We built the IAF certified Mondo track. We also refurbished the Jag racetrack. We built the new landmark Treasury building in Charlestown. We built the water taxi pier at Oley, which has revolutionized travel between St. Kitts and Nevis. We are engaged in the ongoing expansion at the Alexandra Hospital, an expansion 2.5 times the size of the existing hospital. We purchased new ambulances, ventilators, generators, and other critical equipment for our health sector. We deploy CCTV island-wide and constructed a state-of-the-art CCTV command center. We built a brand new police and fire station in Newcastle. We provided the cultural venue, Arthur Freeman Center of Excellence, at Market Shop, where we hosted Culturama last year. We purchased several generator sets at Nevlec to ensure that we all now enjoy better electricity. We provided emergency medical assistance totaling 3.56 million to our people since 2015. We established a $5 million fund to provide seed money to assist youth and women. We service our death, and we provided support to our statutory corporations. Let me explain something to you all why I read that. I read that because Timothy Harris would have you to believe, and spreading things all over St. Kitts, that Mark Brantley can manage, including Patches Liebert, the worst ambassador any country in the world has ever had. Imagine Patches is an ambassador to us for the US. And Patches running a program in ZIZ. He can't tell us how he paying for it. But he say he paying for it. He can't even give us one receipt how he paying for it. But Patches has been chosen by Timothy Harris to work in America, not for us, but for Timothy, to establish a better way out so Timothy Harris can bring down Pam. Let me tell you something. If I could have look, I did plan to spend all of my money on my account. Just leave enough for Anita so she could get something because she work in the store. She doesn't take a salary, so I'm always thinking about her in terms of her savings. If I could have get their program on the radio, I'll use all my money to bring down Timothy. Timothy ain't no good. Why you think Timothy got all like Sanja and Michael Powell and Nital speaking for him? It's to keep him in power. If you listen Sanja here today, again, you might hear her praising up Timothy, but she's not with him. She's not a PLP. Sanja is not a PLP, but she like what Timothy Harris doing because look how he helping the youths. Helping the youths to do what? Or you better leave me alone, you know. Let's play a song and when I come back I'm going to read something about Lindsey Grant. The best tourism minister we ever had in this country. Let's play this one. Or you listen to this song. Marty told me yesterday, make sure when you go over tomorrow, play a Jim Jones song for Timothy.
What is the reason for you to fear the iniquities of wicked men nowadays? When you are aware that all that is in their minds is to upraise strife and confusion, but the same does fall on their children down to the third and fourth generation. Corruption, I say, it could work, but it just can't pay. For most people who are living sky high today, got rich in dishonest ways, and living with day from day to day, I can say that if they could hold the key to destruction and upturn this place to confusion, they would strive to do all they can do. So this message I bring to you, especially for them wicked people, and it's not lies. So listen to my cry. If a man spit up to the sky, it must fall straight back in the eye. Some men would even use their position to seduce young women of this nation. Say, isn't it wrong? When coming out of school, applying to get employment, and to be successful, they must be present for interviews at their residence at 8 p.m. instant, or somewhere they never went. I call it a bed and back situation, breeding corruption over the land. But they'll cease from their wicked plan when they understand that the one who holds the key to destruction, someday he'll turn their life to confusion. They continue to seduce my people. For when he see they're getting too far, he would take away the power before they die. So they'll know it's not lie, that when they spit up to the sky, it must fall straight back in their eye.
I wonder if Dwyer going back on the program this morning or he gonna wait to listen me with Lindsey Grant coming up. Or you text Dwyer and tell him on the radio.
Casting and rumors going around, information about wolves in sheep clothing, keeping us down. Just like Jim Jones, the minister over in Guyana, using God's name to make a cover for the land he want to take over. He didn't mind to kill a multitude at one time, after making them sign him as beneficiary of their social security. But not he didn't live to spree his decree. For he do not hold the key to destruction to stop them from shooting him down, or he'd openly let it be me. But the one above has the plan to make all them decisions, and if I lie, oh, he wouldn't have to die. When he spit up to the sky and it fall straight back in here.
Marty asked me to remind you all of something important today. One smart, which is Sean Richards. Two smart is Mark Brantley. And they invite three smart to Charlestown for a meeting to sign the accord after Mark Brantley put these things together brilliantly, and all of them agreed in principle on what were written. One smart and two smart. This is what Marty told me to do. I'm doing it. One smart and two smart, carefully sitting down with three smart, which is Timothy. And everything, the reading and the making sure Timothy understand, he got a copy. And even before they done read the sentence, he say yes, 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 yes. So at one time, they read out something that wasn't on the paper. He say yes too. He say, well, one smart tell him, could you check the paper? He say, oh, sorry, I missed the one. He ain't missed nothing. All he want to do is just say yes, yes, agreed, 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 agreed. And as soon as they give him the prime ministership and he see the vault, he said, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not know them now. Is what Marty tell me say. Marty asked me to remind you all that Gene Hamilton built 15 houses in one constituency over there in Timothy Place. And all 15 houses went to Timothy. These things are wrong. These things are wrong. Folks, Lindsey Grant's record as a government minister is outstanding, no matter what Dwyer Astafan say. And I want you all to understand what I'm doing on the radio is not calling down Dwyer, you know. Is the problem. I can't work out Dwyer. What he's trying to do is in bringing down Pam. I can't understand it. Timothy tried for 7 years and I didn't know. If I did know, I'll make a big problem in this country before. Timothy had a meeting with a special guy. It has been alleged that Timothy had a meeting with this special guy. And come, let me tell you what Timothy telling the guy. The idea is for us, it has been alleged, to bring down Pam and replace Pam. Always, Big Lice brother say, it was always Timothy's intention to replace Pam. But how could this man do this thing? Why Dwyer Astafan don't place some more emphasis even though he want Sean Richards to lose and replace Pam? How come he can't make some more emphasis why Timothy should treat the People's Action Movement the way he has over the past 7 years? How come Dwyer Astafan, with all his education and his brilliance, he don't want to bring down Pam too? And when he want to talk about Mark Brantley, he said them. Call Mark Brantley name, man. Dwyer, when you're talking about Mark Brantley, call his name. You still will be able to go over in his house and talk with him. Mark Brantley is not a jealous and envious man. Let's play something before I come back to read this. Listen to this. Listen carefully.
That the government is void of legitimacy, and all citizens and all residents must have a serious look at the substance of the judgment, because it is critical. The government then has lost the basis of its authority to act on behalf of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I just want to read one section of the judgment. I think it's section paragraph 103. And he said in part, Mr. Philip made reference to it, the Governor General is required to appoint a Prime Minister. As Prime Minister, that representative who appears to him likely to command the support of the majority of the representatives.
How come Dwyer not emphasizing in that enough? But you will hear him talk about corruption with Sean and Pam. And the rest of them. The rest of them mean Mark Brantley. The Governor General put St. Kitts in the problem we're in today. We are not even sure that we're going to have an election. Folks, when are you going to sleep at night? Put a clock to alarm to get up to listen to me. People ain't got no scruples. People have lost their decency. The Governor General allowed Timothy to be doing what he's doing. Tell him I say it. And tell him carry me to the court. The Governor General did stupidness to this country. Timothy have no right. Timothy have no right to be doing what he's doing to us. Command the majority. And when Mark Brantley and Sean Richards went to the governor with the letter because they were given legal advice by a QC out of London, he should have made a better decision than that. And he knows it. But I can't get no radio time in the day. I can't be in ZIZ to pay me money. $46,000. 2 years ago, I paid ZIZ for 2 weeks to campaign up there to put Timothy back in office. But ZIZ ain't taking me money to give me a chance to do 3 hours a week on ZIZ radio. They're not taking me money so I could go on the TV to educate the people, even though I'm not an educator, even though I ain't went to school. A Washington Archibald taught me. Let's go back to the stupid tape.
The general and usual effect of this provision is that the political party with the most elected representatives will be able to have the representative of their choice appointed Prime Minister. Where there is no political party with a clear majority, and in our context, a majority is 6 elected representatives out of a house of 11. Where there is no political party with 6, the Governor General is to be guided by the majority of representatives if the elected representatives from more than one political party have decided to support one candidate for the office of the Prime Minister. And he goes on to say, because this is really the crux, it is whether we are in a democracy where we have respect for majority rule. And the judge yesterday told us that the majority rule in a constitutional democracy is in fact vested in the people who elect representatives who exercise that power on their behalf. It is a point that I had heard Comrade Stefan made some time back, but perhaps not with the same finesse.
Wait, you got any right to call the word finesse? You don't know what the meaning of finesse is? You can't deal with things in a more finesse manner than Dwyer. Dwyer bright on you. It's just that Dwyer brightness, he used it where he wanted to use. If Dwyer had come out and used his brightness enough, Timothy couldn't get you with a lot of what he's doing. Because spam in and because it's Sean Richards, Dwyer not coming with certain inquiries, making into certain thing and educating the people enough because it's Sean Richards will be the Prime Minister. But Dwyer Astafan knows that Sean Richards should have been the Prime Minister right now. I am the most stupid, sensible man this country has ever seen. I am the most stupid, sensible man in this country. And I don't want to get brighter or bright enough. Dwyer Astafan, when you hear Dwyer Astafan talking, is Pam he want remove? To put who? When you remove a man like Mark Brantley and Sean Richards, who will do the great job in this country, who you gonna put? Let's go back to the stupid tape.
Or having heard him made that point, the power is with the people. And once the people elect who they want to represent them, then it is their representatives who are acting on their behalf. And so when you disrespect the representatives, you are disrespecting the people.
Now let me ask you something. Who disrespecting who? Why Dwyer Astafan don't go on Freedom Radio and tell you something like we're going to tell you now? Folks, this country is small, but we must be careful in what we're doing. It is only right and fair that Sean Richards should have been the Prime Minister. Come and tell you all why. You cannot run a government with 3 elected members out of 11. And regardless of what the Governor General would say, it is only right and fitting for Sean Richards, who had gotten the support of CCM party with 3 seats, and Pam had 3, forget the other one, forget the wicked and evil one, Gene Hamilton, the crook, the biggest imposter, one of the biggest imposter ever in this country is Gene Hamilton. Tell him I say it. And tell him carry me court. When I lay down on my bed and consider what Gene Hamilton have done to this country and to the People's Action Movement, sometimes I can't sleep. But I can't sleep for the right purpose. Folks, let me ask you something. Sit down. Lay down, whatever you want to do, and consider what Gene Hamilton and Wendy Phipps and Juicy Byron continue to do to the People's Action Movement, and they are big supporters of the party all the time. You think about what Juicy Byron is doing. Juicy Byron surprised me big time. Big time! Juicy Byron surprised me big time. Wendy Phipps surprised me big time. You put that as a phone call. Big time. Wendy Phipps sign up $27,000 secretly for herself and then say, look how they leak out something that we should know. Wendy Phipps can't tell me she $27,000 that she pick up plus she salary. That a leak. That none a leak. That a hole. Marty tell me when you go on the radio, say that ain't no leak. That's a big open hole. How come we can't see a big open hole? We mightn't see a leak. But Marty say make sure you tell them that's a hole. A hole different to a leak, you know. I want you to tell Marty keep out of my store. Because he come to me, he does get me vexed. He come down the store every morning, handing me sheet of paper, and when I go home I read them, and look how we're going on today. And Marty makes so. I want him bring more. Wendy Phipps, of all people, decent Wendy Phipps, sign up, put it in place to get $27,000. Wendy Phipps did that to get $27,000, and when he come out, she talk about leak. That's a hole. Folks, listen to DuPont this morning. Consider for a moment how strong the People's Action Movement is. Timothy fight against replacing Pam for 7 years. I can't believe it. He fooled me. Timothy Harris fooled thousands of Pam supporters. He's a no, Carlton. Egotism has overtaken Timothy Harris. Do you know what egotism means? Or a person who is egotistic? the quality of being excessively conceited or self-centered. Let me ask you something this morning. How Wendy Phipps feel to draft up a document secretly? A document that should have been public or published to the public. And then say she recuse herself from the meeting, but she knows what's in the document for her. Does that make any sense? Well, even though me ain't got no sense, and even though me a big stupid fool, me understand the stupidity in Wendy Phipps. Or you tell her I say it and tell her take me court. Wendy Phipps draft a document, put $27,000 in it for her, and then say he leak out when it's a big hole. Marty tell me, remind me to tell her 7 or 8 times is a big hole. Plus she salary. And she's a Pam. And Wendy Phipps, who is a Pam. Juicy Byros, who is a Pam. Gene Hamilton, who is a Pam. They all stayed with Timothy on his side, while 6 other members move away from Timothy and had Wendy Phipps and Juicy Byron and Gene Hamilton did the same. Timothy Harris' political career would have been finished. The question is, though, why they stayed with him. Let's go back to the board.
So the judge very pellucidly and clearly says that. The last part I want to quote from his judgment. This majority concept is therefore fundamental to the structure of government. It is a majority of elected representatives, no matter where they come from, no matter how many parties. Once there is a majority of elected members of the parliament in agreement as to the choice of the prime minister, that is the option that ought to prevail according to the judge. The prime minister then in turn could do all those things which the legislature and the constitution allows him to do. Determine the portfolios, determine the senatorial appointment, etc. But the prime minister is, as it were, answerable to the elected majority. There had been a lot of noise in the political marketplace, ill-informed noise by some of the persons, but they nonetheless had put forward the point that people ought to resign their position. Well, the judge answered that in his judgment too.
So the judge answered it in his judgment, but not in Timothy's case. Folks, do you know what should have happened in Timothy's case? You want me to tell you? Well, hold on there. Listen to this broadcast, and you see how I just spend time to put it together. Let's leave the tape playing right there. Let's pause that tape. Let's go to another tape and to show you what Timothy Harris should have done, and the Governor General should have made sure that Timothy Harris never have the power that he has at the moment. Listen to this.
Understand this.
Yes.
The decent thing for Tim to have done on day one, after the majority of the representatives said we no longer support you,
Resign.
was to resign. A decent human being would have done that.
Right.
But you can't put decent in the same sentence with Tim. And so we are where we are. You ask if we have a constitutional crisis. And essentially we do. Right? In the one instance, we don't even have a clear idea of what the Constitution means with respect to replacing the Prime Minister. Because here you are telling me that the Governor General cannot or should not replace the Prime Minister after he received notice that the majority of representatives no longer support the Prime Minister.
Make sure you are listening. Sometimes I lay down on my bed home and I wonder if Tapley Seaton is a rubber stamp for Timothy. Tell him I say it. Sometimes I lay down on my bed at home and I'm wondering if Tapley Seaton is a rubber stamp for Timothy. 7 years! 7 years! Timothy Harris undermined Pam. And it has been alleged that Timothy had many conversations with certain people to replace Pam. Dwyer might have that information, but I don't know. Might. But one thing I do know, that Dwyer would like to see the demise of Pam. Why? Dwyer want to see the demise of Sean Richards. Why? Sean Richards is a loyal man. How you could fire a man of loyalty, a man of dignity, a man who could say he's sorry? What is the matter with Dwyer Astafan?
You say he can't do that. You say the only way you could do it is go a motion of no confidence, right? And now you're telling me that once you go to the motion of no confidence, a speaker can frustrate the process. And worse, if you have a speaker who is compromised.
Praise the Lord. Folks, God wants me to do this slowly. I want to thank God this morning for the life of the Speaker of the National Assembly. I forgot his name. Ladies and gentlemen, let me do this quietly and calmly. I want to thank God for the Speaker of the National Assembly, even though some of us thought the Speaker, he was involving himself and not doing what is right. In the end, the Speaker of the National Assembly was taking his time in his deliberation. May God bless him. May God bless. Sorry I forgot his name, but you all know the Speaker. The Speaker, last night, the night before, I am home, and God helping me to think a lot about the Speaker of the National Assembly. St. Kitts and Nevis situation could have been much worse if the Speaker of the National Assembly had joined up with Timothy to continue his perpetration of evil and wickedness on this country. You listening to me? If I could have gotten onto ZIZ radio and television, nobody would vote for Timothy Harris, but ZIZ not taking my money. But ask ZIZ how much money they're getting from Patches to do broadcast there all the time for years. To keep who in power? Timothy Harris, an evil man, a wicked man. Timothy Harris is an evil and wicked man. Timothy Harris is an evil and wicked man. Patches Libard on ZIZ radio trying hard to keep Timothy Harris in power. He can't show no receipt how much money he pays ZIZ. But I, who spent 2 years ago $46,000 and me hard-earned money to put Timothy back as a second term, because Sean said he would give him the second term, I can't get on to ZIZ to pay me money to be on ZIZ. I want radio time in the day. Not just early in the morning with people who preparing to go to work. I want radio time in the day. It is wrong. Dwyer Astafan should be on radio telling this nation that it is wrong. And it is wrong, and more than wrong. Dwyer Astafan should be telling the nation, just like how he want bring down Sean, that I should be allowed to go on ZIZ radio and television and pay me money. Dwyer should be doing that. No. But when Dwyer get a chance, he go after Sean. When Dwyer Astafan get a chance, he going after Sean. Well, who you want me go after? Sean is a good man. Sean much better than anything named Timothy Harris. And I'm saying this morning that Sean Richards should have been the Prime Minister of this country. Let's read something for you. Let me read something for you about the best tourism minister ever in this country, Lindsey Grant. talking points for the DuPont experience. This is something that I wrote before, but let's call it talking points and hard talk. Because if you have a friend who wants to know about this program, you have to tune in to Hard Talk. Otherwise, you wouldn't find it. Hard Talk with Carlton DuPont. Listen this. You talk about Timothy Harris getting 10% raise. Why didn't he get 20? Nevis over there giving 5% out of 7%. St. Kitts got 93% of passport money, but I get 10. So the 7% Nevis getting over there, they're paying a 5% raise. But Timothy Harris got money hidden in the treasury that only he and the financial men or women who inside there with him. But the 93% that he has, he only give you 10 out of 8. Why not 20? So let's just listen to this document. The 10% increase announcement was designed to fool Kittitian into thinking that Timothy cared about them. That's a lie. Timothy Harris don't care nothing about nobody. Timothy Harris don't care nothing about nobody. Timothy Harris only using people. You cannot be around Timothy Harris and tell him he wrong. You can't. And Dwyer Astafan, he had a lot of experience around Timothy. He knows the evilness of Timothy. All of us forgave Timothy. And now Timothy come in and trying to undermine Pam for 7 years. You think Dwyer Astafan has taken that into account pertaining to Sean Richards' loyalty towards Timothy? Absolutely not. Tell him I say it. But tell him don't carry me coat because me and Dwyer are friends. So me ain't expect Dwyer to carry me coat. Let's read this again. The 10% increase announcement was designed to fool Kittitian into thinking that Timothy cared about them. That's a lie. Here is the truth. Since October last year, when Cabinet was negotiating an increase for parliamentarian, Lindsey Grant was adamant that he would not take any increase. Lindsey Grant was adamant that he not taking any increase. You all hear me? The question is why? Why Lindsey Grant said that? He didn't want an increase while civil servant not getting any. Or you underestimate Lindsey Grant in this country, you know? When I speak highly of Lindsey Grant, this is what people doing to me. Whenever I speak highly of Lindsey Grant, people say to me, but what about what he get in before? What he got into before? Well, if you ain't gonna sin, trust one. Do you remember the amount of things Dr. Douglas did to this country? Where is Dr. Douglas now? I'm talking to you all. The most stupid, educated man in this country is me. The most stupid and educated man in this country are me. They call me Licky Bud. I own DuPont's jewelry downtown. Nobody could fool me again in this country. Timothy Harris did it. Nobody else gonna get it do. Here is the truth. Since October last year when Cabinet was negotiating an increase for parliamentarian, Lindsey Grant was adamant that he is not taking any increase unless civil servants get a long overdue increase. So, all who going after Lindsey, right now people going after Lindsey Grant, need to understand that he was the one who stood up for all workers who are benefiting now from the increase. Not greedy Timothy Harris. You remember what Mark Brantley said about Lindsay? In Parliament, in Cabinet, Lindsey Grant always spoken highly about taxi drivers, vendors at the cruise ship pier. And he want to see better for them. But Timothy Harris never gave you that idea. You would have never hear Sandra talk about those things when she come here and she program on Friday 10 o'clock in the morning. You wouldn't hear talk about the goodness of Lindsey Grant, would you? Or if you heard her, let me know when you heard her. Lindsey Grant spoke highly in cabinet for taxi drivers, for vendors and other people, because Lindsey Grant has a heart. If Lindsey Grant and his wife, if they never had good heart, they would not do the breakfast thing for the children in number 4. You believe you will hear Timothy and Dwight Astafan talk about that? No. But all you hear from Timothy over in Nevis, tree smart, according to Marty, yes. And even when they asked him a question that wasn't on the paper, he said yes to. That's what Marty told me to bring to you all this morning. All Timothy went over to Nevis, yes. But Dwight Astafan want to see the demise of Lindsey Grant in spite of the good that he continued to do in this country and all that he did in tourism as the best tourism minister and record in this country in terms of the improvement of people to this country on cruise ship. Take it from me, man. None of you could bring down Pam. 7 years. And with all what Pam going through, a labor man came to my store yesterday and he said, DuPont, boy, I got to big up Pam. So I say, why young man? He's a young fella, but he's a big labor. I wouldn't call him name because me ain't want to put nobody against him. And to me, he's a decent human being. And if Pam and CCM win the government, I'll make sure he get a job. Me, Carlton DuPont, will make sure he has a job. Mark Brantley spoke very highly about Lindsey Grant. Mark Brantley spoke very highly about Lindsey Grant. That Lindsey Grant had always asked and had been working all along for the people in the tourism industry to get a better deal. You'll never hear Timothy Harris big up Lindsey Grant. And you know one of the things Timothy did to Grant? He gave him less money to run tourism. Let me ask all you something. Those of you who love Timothy Harris, with all the millions of dollars Timothy Harris squandering on election campaign, go down to the Pelican Mall and look at the toilet where tourism supposed to be the top thing in our country. Look at the toilet system in the Pelican Mall that Lindsey Grant wanted to refurbish brand new. Timothy said no. Imagine tourism that had been one of the outstanding pillars of this country. Timothy Harris sabotaged Lindsey Grant in order to try to defeat him in an election. Timothy could never beat Lindsey Grant in this election. Old Road and Challengers, Middle Island, Virtuals, Godwin Got, right down to Eugenie, they're not so stupid. The people over there in Nevis, they're not stupid to give up none of those 3 seats Mark Brantley have. The best route to election victory in this country is the Concerned Citizens Movement and the People's Action Movement. Remember, it's a movement. Let's go back to my document. So here is a message for all those of you in constituency number 4 who going after Lindsey Grant. Because you feel you have not gotten personal favors. Remember the 10% increase he negotiated for you and everyone else is far better than the little pittance you were begging from Timothy. You see, Lindsay had your back, and you did not even realize it until Mark Brantley mentioned it to you. He knew that giving you 10% increase on your salary for a long-term benefit is much better than giving you a $200, a $500, or $1,000 and then nothing else for you for a long time. So in initial fact, this is the point I want to make to you, the congregation. Lindsey Grant had been working hard in cabinet to work for 10% for you, the people. But Timothy didn't tell you that. And Timothy didn't want to give you the 10%. It's Lindsey Grant. He was adamant that you should get a raise before him. Otherwise, he ain't want none. Or you could come tell me anything about Lindsey Grant. Lindsey Grant is my family, you know. And when the bell ring, come be mother walk if we not them allow me to come here. None of you could beat Lindsey Grant. Nobody in St. Kitts can beat Lindsey Grant. Neither Labour nor Timothy. Look at Timothy dragging on to straws. Even Culturama, Timothy want to mess up. Election should have been called long ago. St. Kitts and Nevis should not have been in this crossroad from stupid Timothy Harris, ignorant Timothy Harris, all of self and none of the Timothy Harris. Squandering the country money, Timothy Harris. Imagine one of Timothy Harris' sister. People campaigning. This is a campaign. They're going canvassing. A young man go and just put a piece of paper between the gate. The normal thing, let's to say, somebody was here, these are some of the things Powell intend to do. Timothy's sister called police for the guy who stick the thing in the fence. The police rush come, say that her life was threatened. Her life was threatened? And if you don't give your name, we'll lock you up. I want to send a message to the people in St. Kitts and Nevis. Police don't have no problem with us. So you all bear with the police, please. Most of the police in the police force, I believe, will vote for PAM and CCM. But of course, police supposed to do a professional work. So we're not really getting them in no problem. I am saying, without any doubt, without any uncertainty, that police officers in this country don't have no problem with us fighting to uphold and maintain democracy. Let's go back to the document. Next, Timothy thought he could push Mark Brantley into a corner by withholding Nevis' rightful money and forcing Mark to struggle to pay 10% out of the measly 7% that he sent up to Nevis. So, imagine everything Timothy Harris is doing in this country to go after Mark Brantley, to make him look bad in Nevis, and now helping NRP to unseat Mark, who had been loyal to Timothy in the first term. Let's read this again because this is carefully crafted. Timothy thought he could push Mark Brantley into a corner by withholding Nevis' rightful money and forcing Mark to struggle to pay 10% out of the measly 7% that he sent up to Nevis. Oh. But look here. Mark is a lawyer, but he is a better economist than Tim. Not according to what Patches say. And wouldn't go and pay ZIZ. Tell Patches, I say, go and pay ZIZ the money. I want to know how much money Nital does pay to 90.3. I want to know how much money Powell does pay in 90.3. Because if all you want to know how much money I does pay on the radio, I'll tell all you. Mark Brantley is a better lawyer and economist than Timothy Harris, who getting government money. And he got in the past government money granted to him by Denzel Douglas to study while he should have been here in St. Kitts. Do I remind them about that when you get a chance? Remind them that Douglas allowed Timothy to study overseas while he should have been in St. Kitts doing the people work, and then he could study after. You can study and still work here. No, Carlton, don't say that. Not today, when the bell ring. But look here. Mark is a lawyer. He's a better economist than Tim, who got government money to study economics. He thought he would force Mark to borrow, to pay back money, borrow the money in order to pay the people in Nevis at 10%. But Mark got one on him. Mark using the same 7%, the measly 7% that he's sending over, and going to pay Nevis some money over there, while 93% of the money is kept down here from passport, making the government work, but he only could pay 10% out of 93. But Mark paying 5 out of 7. All of you who behind Timothy and think Timothy nice, ask me about Timothy. I got a lot of things I could say on the radio, but me ain't gonna say them till they trouble me. Are you let them come now? Nobody gonna beat Pam in this election. Nobody could beat Sean in Sunny Point. Nobody could beat John L. Powell in number 2. None of them rookie there. None of them rookie could beat John L. Powell. John L. Powell is a star. John L. Powell beat Marcella Liebert, Labour superstar, the royal woman. If you could beat a royal woman, how you can beat rookies? Are you learn sense from St. Kitts' best stupid bright man? I am the most stupidest, brightest man in this country. I am the most stupidest and brightest man in this country. You better get up in the morning. Since they don't want to give me dead time on the radio, since me money ain't important, get up out. You better morning. If you want to hear facts. You will never hear programming like this. Nowhere in the Federation. All of self and none of thee. Do you know the amount of people want Labour to win to get big contracts? And add to the millions they got in the bank? What sense it make? For people to got millions of dollars. And you want Labour to win 6 seats so you could get more millions. They don't spend money in hell. Nobody does spend money in hell. Let's read something else from my paper. Buy this paper take time, yeah? When you see me home at night time, I read. And I write. I got a special man. When I can't spell a word, I call him. He named Bill Degaware. I say, Bill Degaware? Could you tell me how to spell Santa Claus? Because I'm writing some information here and I don't know how to spell Santa Claus. And I got a word here named Telwellel. What is the meaning of Telwellel? He tell me and I write carefully. That's how I study. Let's read another one. Nevisions need to understand that you have an economist in Mark Brantley who is second to none. Look what Mark did. Hey, I don't know what to say about Mark Brantley, boy. But St. Kitts and Nevis more than lucky to have somebody like Mark Brantley. He's astute, he's brilliant, very educated, and I like something about Mark Brantley. I'm learning something from Mark Brantley. He could stay calm even under pressure. St. Kitts and Nevis people, I'm telling you something. Do not miss the boat. Do not miss the boat that will take St. Kitts and Nevis to the best time of our life in voting for a CCM PAM government together. Don't miss the boat. Let me see if I have anything on my paper. Mark say, Tim want me to borrow money to give you all 10%. I say no. I can do better than that. I will not, but will give Nivisions a 5% now, a 5% in January 2023, and a 5% in January 2024. Nivisions, over those couple of years, it means the percentage that you would have gotten if you add it up would be 15%. Timothy only give you 10. So let me tell you how stupid and believe smart Timothy is. Timothy got 93% of money from passport hidden in the treasury. He sent over 7% to Nevis. Over the next couple of years, Mark Brantley would pay 15% out of his 7. Assuming it's 7. But Timothy got 93%, but he only gave you 10. Are you think Timothy Harris like are you? Timothy Harris only like people he could use. Let me read something else, because I'm watching the computer. I don't want to get in trouble with morning devotion. So, Nivisions, tell all your brothers and sisters here in St. Kitts to pick sense out of nonsense and make sure that they put a government in place who looks after people, generally speaking. NRP, CCM, PAM, PLP, Labour. Let me ask you something. Could you imagine what would have happened to this country if Labour, PAM, and CCM were campaigning together right now? Timothy name would not have even called. Let me ask you another question. How is it that Timothy Harris, when he said to this nation, I don't know where this talk coming from, but unity mashing up. The last time I checked, unity was still intact, but unity is only once Timothy in charge. Timothy, for 7 years, tell Dwyer Astafan had said this, because he don't listen to the program. He might be over there and the other one now. Tell Dwyer Astafan I said this. Timothy Harris undermined PAM 7 years, and PAM stronger now than ever before. What does that tell you? Look at Juicy Byron. Look at Wendy Phipps. Look at Gene Hamilton. Scorpions they are. Scorpions they are. Biting PAM while they're still PAM. Loyal to Timothy. While just months ago, Gene Hamilton cheering PAM town hall meeting. You want to hear about evil and wickedness? That's evil and wickedness. Let's go back to the board.
Understand this.
Yes.
The decent thing for Tim to have done on day one, after the majority of the representatives said we no longer support you,
Resign.
was to resign. A decent human being would have done that.
Right.
But you can't put decent in the same sentence with Tim. And so we are where we are. You ask if we have a constitutional crisis. And essentially we do. Right? In the one instance, we don't even have a clear idea of what the Constitution means with respect to replacing the Prime Minister. Because here you are telling me that the Governor General cannot or should not replace the Prime Minister after he received notice that the majority of representatives no longer support the Prime Minister. You say he can't do that. You say the only way you could do it is go a motion of no confidence, right? And now you're telling me that once you go to the motion of no confidence, a speaker can frustrate the process. And worse, if you have a speaker who is compromised, who feel allegiance and have pledged fealty to the prime minister, you got problems. Because there is absolutely no way that a speaker who, when in parliament, comes over as the sole authority and knowing everything, all of a sudden something as basic as a motion of no confidence, which had been filed before,
yeah.
You don't know. 9 days have gone, right? And so if you have a situation where you may have a speaker that maybe have benefited from some favors from the prime minister, guess who he's loyal to? And we, like I said today on my Facebook page, 12 more days before we descend into a conflagration.
Folks, let me tell you something. I want Kitishan and Division to understand the importance of Big Lice and his brother to this country, and Clecton Phillip. I am hoping if Sean Richards, sorry, I made a mistake. I am hoping when Sean Richards become Prime Minister in 4 weeks' time, Mark Brantley and Sean Richards will sit down and we will employ the best brains we have in this country regardless of their political belief. When I lay down and listen to Big Lice and his brother, I am so joyous. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Do you know how I feel about the life of Big Lice? Big Lice used to call down Douglas. Big Lice went on a stage last week, shook hand with Douglas and tell him he's sorry that he didn't listen to him. You need people like these to be in good jobs, lifting up our people. Let me ask you all something. When the new government goes in place, Watley should be called home if he's still in America to do a job. Because Watley ideas, very important where I am concerned. I am not studying you on the outside listening this program who is not in agreement with me. This is hard talk. And the reason why I can't get time to buy at that time to spend all my money in the bank is because they don't like my ideas. Because my ideas is not an idea where I look in money. But their idea is when Labour win the 6th seat is for them to get big money. The reason why a lot of people up and down on radio bawling for Labour to win 6th seat and not for Labour to come together with Pam and CCM is because all they're studying is money. You can't live your life and just study money. Let's go back to the board. Let's listen to Watley again.
Well, after the 2015 election, Lindsey Grant had been saying, look, guys, let's renege on that promise. Let's not pursue that. In fact, I don't even think up to now he signed off giving support to Timothy in 2015. But Sean was of the notion, and I've been studying Sean as well. Sean was of the notion that, look, guys, I was one who told y'all I don't want to join with Timothy. You understand? He was adamant about that prior to 2015. In fact, I personally believe that Sean only joined a week before the election. Sean had always been suspicious of joining with Team Unity. Because even then people were saying that's a recipe for killing Pam.
Thank you.
Even then people...
Folks, I want you to listen something else from Watley. And I want you all understand something about me. When I leave home a morning time, when I get up 3 o'clock a morning and pray to God and ask him to give me the wisdom and understanding to come down here, I am not coming down here for people to love me. I am coming to preach a sermon that this country needs. And you need to hear more of this sermon, but I can't get radio time in the day. Nobody's selling me radio time in the day. Charge me what you're charging the political party. so I could educate my people. A lot of people in St. Kitts who didn't attend school prefer to learn from me because I'm the dancest, brightest man in this country. So give me radio time in the day, not just 4:30 in the morning. The political party, them they ain't better than me. They're not more intelligent than me. I am the one who educated my people. What they come again?
The concept of unity under any construct is a solid concept. But of course, unity requires teamwork and team members.
Right.
And if, for whatever reason, you don't have unity of purpose, and if that's not shared by all the members in a similar way, you're going to have problems. And from the get-go, as a lot of us found out later, Timothy was never interested in the team unity construct except that it would make him prime minister. That was his long-term goal, lifelong goal. He wanted to become prime minister.
Right.
And all the time we were planning to engage in this new enlightened pursuit, right? He was plotting to go it alone. He was plotting to go it alone. I'll tell you this much. The idea to have PLP in each constituency was originally my idea, but not with the intention that you see him attached to it. I thought that if you had PLP present in each constituency before the 2015 election, they could mobilize some of the labor support to come over to PLP, which was presented as their natural sibling. Right? So that
I want to thank Watley for his contribution towards the show. This is a tape I got that he did with Junie Liebert. Let me read something for you, what has gotten Timothy Harris in trouble. Let me read something for you that put Timothy Harris in trouble from the Bible perspective. 1 Timothy 6:10, it reads, "For the love of money is the root of all sorts of injurious things, and by reaching out for this love, some have been led astray from the faith and have stabbed themselves all over with many pain." So, Timothy Harris has the government money. He don't want to give up holding it. So he mash up St. Kitts and Nevis and form his own party in 2 months and want me to believe the most stupid, brightest man in the world. He want me to believe he just formed the party there 2 months ago. He want you believe that too. But you believe, I got mine. Timothy had always been planning to unseat Pam and to unseat Sean, who has been most gracious to him. That is why a number of people in number 7 are going to vote for Timothy the way he treats Sean. Let's go another scripture. Hebrews 13:5. "Let your manner of life be free of the love of money, while you are content with the present things, for he has said, I will no means leave you, nor by any means forsake you." That's Timothy. His manner of life is into money, and so he's going to get in problem. In the Bible book of Amos chapter 5, it reads, "Hate what is bad and love what is good, and give justice a place in the gate. It may be that Jehovah the God of armies will show favor to the remaining ones of Jehovah. Hate what is bad, love what is good." In the Bible book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1, write it down, Micah, "Woe to those who are scheming what is harmful, and to those practicing what is bad, upon their beds, by the light of the morning, they proceed to do it. because it is in the power of their hands. You believe all the plans Timothy Harris planned and perpetuation, all the perpetuation that he continued to do to this country, you believe Sandra knows anything about it? Yeah, the same Sandra that comes here 10 o'clock every morning. You believe Sandra knows any plans of Timothy Harris? Do you believe Sandra Atherton knows about the evil plans of Timothy Harris? I don't know, but I'm just asking you if you believe. Micah 7:18 says, Micah chapter 7 verse 18 say, who is a God like you, one pardoning error and passing over transgression of the remnant of his inheritance. God will not hold on to his anger against us if we seek forgiveness. But there are several people, there are thousands of people in St. Kitts and Nevis who realize the inadequate behavior of Timothy Harris. They say nothing to him because they get money. Do you know there are people in St. Kitts who get up to $6,000 a month to abuse Mark Brantley and to say all manner of things against Sean Richards, but they'll be victorious? It's the first time I go into a swearing-in ceremony. CCM and Pam will win the election. Let's play a verse and a chorus of this song. I'll come back to wrap up this broadcast. I enjoy it. And remember, if you got a change, you could give me $5 for this program, please. Sobe out of St. Paul's, he's here visiting us now.
Ungratefulness, it is worse than witchcraft, my friends. Cause you will give 100% of kindness, and all you'll get in return is enemy. When man's heart is corrupt, it's resistance to love and change. Even when the atmosphere calm and quiet, they shall possess hostility. But it's the nature of the people that surround you. They will come and eat and drink and then go talk you. They always running their mouth on somebody. No good for nothing bastards. Where I say, all you better mark their faces.
Thank you, Sobe. The roles and responsibility of a politician to want to help people, to be a good communicator, to speak in public without looking back, to think quickly and be decisive when dealing with the country, and most of all, to be able to accept criticism. I want to thank a man yesterday who called me from Canada. And he said, Mister, are you DuPont? I said, yes. He said, I sent some money for you. I want you to go and collect it. Keep doing the job that you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, anywhere you are in this world, and you love St. Kitts and you want to save St. Kitts, I'm going to call Vaughan Radio to see if I could get daytime over there. I'll lock down the store and I'll go over to Nevis to do broadcasting, if I am allowed to go on Vaughan Radio. I have always been allowed to go on Vaughan Radio, so don't take it with any skepticism. Thank you all for supporting me in my business. I see the power of this radio station. Since I'm here, I make money in my store by advertising my business. Thank you for coming and buying the watches. You want to buy a nice watch? Bring $300. You want the best reading glasses, frames, and shades? Most affordable price? I have it. I am so thankful to you, and I'll come to WINN FM this morning again and pay for the entire week that passed from Monday to today. And I do hope and pray that WINN FM will give me next week again, because I'm doing it week by week. I am happy. I feel good. But I would like to get some daytime on WINN FM, because I can't be in ZIZ. It was a pleasure being here again, And I thank you very much for listening. I look forward coming back Monday morning, 4:30. Morning devotion begins now.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
Conclude our devotional time as we have been focusing for the last week on loving your enemies, and we give God thanks for all that He has opened up our hearts to hear and to accept and to work on with the help of the Holy Spirit. Remember, we were talking about an enemy